All right, guys, hopefully you can hear me and this is working beautifully for you. Now, you should have completed your opening and we need to go over the answers. So we're rounding based on significant digits. So if you look at question number one has addition. Addition is based on decimal places. 2 places behind the decimal, 3 places behind the decimal. So we only want 2 places behind the decimal. 2 places behind the decimal are right there. We're dropping off the 4, so we have 19.35. Now, question number 2 is multiplication. Multiplication is not about decimal places. It's about significant digits. Significant digits, these 3 are significant. That is a advertisement. Hey, there's a decimal. This is a placeholder. So those 3 are significant, 2, 5, and 6. Here, all 4 are significant. So we have 4 significant digits, 3 significant digits. The least number is 3. So in this number, we want 3 significant digits. This one is not significant. So these are the first 3 that are significant. So our answer here is 0.604. Okay, everybody with me? Now, looking at the 2 that are in scientific notation, we do the exact same way. We punch them in scientific notation, 1.2 second EE6 times 6.35 second EE -8. Leave the answer in scientific notation. So 7.62 times 10 to the -2nd. Now, we're rounding based on multiplication. So significant digits. We have how many here? 2. How many here? 3. So I only want how many in my answer? 2. The first 2 that are significant are these. So 7.6 times 10 to the 2nd. Question number 4. 3.56 second EE12 divide 2.136 second EE5, and we get that scientific 1.6666. There's several there repeating, times 10 to the 7th. Now, again, we're dividing, so significant digits. How many are here? There are 3. How many are here? There are 4. So the least number is 3. So we're going to round to 1.66 or 1.67. I would take either answer, times 10 to the 7th, times 10 to the 7th. Either one would be correct. Okay, now that's your opening. Now we need to talk about how to do the homework and see how you did there. So find your homework answers so we can talk about it. All right, hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to try to be loud. All right, in question 1, we had to round to 2 significant digits. The 2 significant digits are these 2. That number is greater than 5. Make it a little bigger. This number is greater than 5, so we should round up. However, like I said yesterday, if you can't round, I would take 5.4 or I would take 5.5. Either answer would be acceptable. Number 3, we need 2 significant digits here. Now, those have to go. So sometimes people get stuck with 469. How do I change that to 2 significant digits? they get to 4 and 6, and they're like, well, what do I do with that? Well, if you had $469, you wouldn't be happy if I dropped you to $46. So change it to 460. We should round up to 470 so that we have two significant digits. Number 5, the first two significant digits are 4.0, so that's an easy one to do. Number 7, first two significant digits are 6.1. Now, we should round up to 6.2. I would take either answer. And number 9, again, you have 4 and 8. But if you had $4,800, you would not be happy if I dropped you to $48. So add your zeros. All right. And I told you only to do the middle section. So on the back, question 1. You have an answer of, hold on, let me change keys. You have an answer of 18.267. Now we're adding. So we have 1 place behind the decimal, 3 places, 1 place. So I want only 1 place behind the decimal. So we're dropping those. We have 18.2 or 18.3. Question 3, we're adding. We have 3 places, 2 places, 3 places. So we get an answer of 20.413, which we're going to round to only 2 places. So 20 point, we're only going to keep those 2. So 41. Number 5, when we add that up, we get 548.6804. We have 2 places, 3 places, 5 places. So 2, 3, and 5. We only want 2, so we're going to drop those, and we get 548.68. Number 7, we get 22.9661. We have 1, we have 3, we have 3, we have 4. The least number is 1. So either 22.9 or 23.0 if you rounded up that 9. And the last one, number 9 in this section, 375.493. We have 2 decimal places, 1, 3, and 1. So if we do that, we wind up with only 1 place behind the decimal, so we need to get rid of those 2. So 375.4 or 375.5. All right. The bottom section, we're multiplying and dividing. So number 11, you get 14.985. Now, this time we're not looking at decimal places. We're looking at significant digits. So how many significant digits total? That one doesn't count, so there are 2. This one, the 0 is between, so we have 3. So we need only 2 significant digits. These are the first 2 significant digits, so we should round to 15, but I would take 14 if you left it at 14. Number 13, 1.2255. We have 3 significant digits, 2 significant digits. So I only want 2 in my answer. These are the first 2 significant digits, so 1.2. Number 15 is 0.2715. This has 3 significant digits. That is the only significant digit right there. That 1, 5 there is the only one. So your answer can be 0.2 or should be rounded to 0.3. Now, you can put the 0 in front of it if you would like, or you can leave the 0 off because that 0 is not significant. Number 17. You get 150.83668. Now, significant digits. You have 3, you have 2, you have 3. So we need 2 in our answer. These are the first 2. But again, if you have 150 and I drop you to $15, you're not going to be happy. So we need to keep that 0. Just make sure you don't put a decimal there because it's understood that 0 is not significant. And number 19, you have 108.6105. Again, significant digits. You have 3, you have 2, you have 3, you have 2. So we need 2 in our answer. But if we round to 108, we have 3. If we round it to 100, we have 1. So the only way we can actually get this is to round it up to 110, which would work, or we can put it in scientific notation and make it 1.0 times 10 to the second. Not many of them work that way where you have to put it in scientific notation, but sometimes you do. Okay? Now, you guys need more practice with this before we do the lab. So I want you to do the even numbers right now. Okay? So take your homework sheet, and I want you to do the even number questions on this worksheet, and then I'm going to go through the even number answers also. Okay? So take a moment and do the evens. Pause the video. All right, the answers for the even numbers. Again, we're adding. So you get 44.135. When you add, you have 2, 1, 3. So you only need one place behind the decimal, so 44.1. You get 362.888. You need one place behind the decimal, 3 places behind the decimal, so we only need 1. 362.8, or if you round up correctly, 0.9. Number 6, you are subtracting, so you have 1 place, 3 places. We only need 1 place, so we're going to drop those 2 off and get 2.7. Number 8, when you add, subtract, we're subtracting. This one has 3 places. This one has 5 places. So we need 3 places behind the decimal. So 294.079. And the last one that adds or subtracts, we get 87.2453, which gives us 87 point something. 2 places, 1 place, 3 places, 4 places. So the least number is 1, so 87.2. Now, the bottom, we're multiplying and dividing again, so we're going by significant digits. So we get an answer of 6.73. We have 5 significant digits, 2 significant digits. So we want 2. So 6.7. Number 14 is a combined question where you have both types of calculations. But I'll be honest with you. As long as we're doing this, come back. There we go. As long as you're doing both types, as long as you have multiplying and dividing, you really only have to worry about the multiplying and dividing rule. So just worry about your significant digits. You have 3 significant digits, 2 significant digits, 4 significant digits. So as long as you round to 2 significant digits, you're good to go. So you will wind up with 2.6, or if you round correctly, 2.7. Number 16, you get a very large number, but you don't have to put it in scientific notation and I'll be okay. You have 2 significant digits and 4 significant digits. So you only want these 2, but again, if you have $32,347, you don't want to drop to $32, so you need to fill in with zeros. Number 18, you get an answer of 0.581, da, 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 da. You have 4 significant digits, 2 and 2, so you only want 2 significant digits there. And the last one, you have 6 significant digits, 3 significant digits, 4 and 3 significant digits. So when you finish calculating, you only want 3 significant digits here. So you can either write 0.269, or if you round up, you can write 270. Or you can put the 0 in front of it and write 0.269 or 0.270. Any of those would be correct for that question. Okay? Now, the last thing we need to talk about is your lab paper from yesterday. Mr. Dukes should have handed those out to y'all. If not, ask Mr. Dukes to hand them out so that everybody has one. All right. Now, if Mr. Dukes has given everybody a lab sheet, your mass and all 3 of these read tenths on the triple beam balance. So if it reads tenths, your guess was in the hundredths place, which means when I looked at your measurement, let's just say it was 107.1 yesterday, there should be a number here. There has to be 2 places behind the decimal. If there's not 2 places behind the decimal in your mass, you lost points. When I looked at your next mass, let's just say it was this. Okay? If you don't have 2 places behind the decimal, you lost points. Now, a couple people found the mass of water wrong. How do we find the mass of water? If we know the mass of the beaker and the water, and we want to find the mass of the beaker, or we have the mass of the beaker, sorry, and we need the mass of the water, we just subtract those 2. Now, it could be a couple of people who did it wrong subtracted in their head or on paper. Use calculator. So I get 49.35. Now, when I look at all 3 of my masses, do I have 2 places behind the decimal in each? If I do, I'm good to go. Now, when I read my volume yesterday, let's just say it said 48.1 milliliters. These read ones. So my guess should be in the tenths place. Same thing for my temperature. They read the ones place, so my guess is in the tenths. Now, very few people got the length right. One group did it in inches. It cannot be in inches today. It must be centimeters. Okay? Centimeters. So, 28.10 centimeters. They read tenths. Because they read tenths, it has to be, the guess has to be in the hundredths place. Same thing for the widths. 21.6, it gets a guess here because it reads the tenths. The guess is in the hundredths. Okay? And nobody got those questions wrong. But keep in mind, masses are going to have 2 places. The ruler is going to have 2 places when you read the mass and the measurements today. So when you're checking over your data table, don't do that piece wrong. All right, let's talk a little bit about what you're getting ready to do in the lab. So everybody does it right. All right, so here's your lab sheet now that I've got it in my hand. Now, you're going to have 2 blocks of wood. All right, clearly this is the large block. This is the small block. It does not matter which one you make, the length, the width, and the height. Most people make the longer side length, this the width, and this the height. But truthfully, it makes absolutely no difference. You choose, okay? Now, when you're filling in up here, this is strictly the data table. The only thing I should see up here are measurements, okay? So if I see a mass of 25.41 grams, and I should see links over here, let's just say it says 15.21 centimeters, and I'm making these numbers up because I don't know what they are, 4.81 centimeters, 2.46 centimeters, and then you're going to calculate and put a number there. Where do the calculations go? Down here, you're going to show the work. So I'm going to see volume equal length times width times height. These numbers you're going to plug in down here. I'm going to see 15.21 centimeters times 4.81 centimeters times 2.46 centimeters, and you're going to give me a volume. Then I'm going to see density equals 25.41 grams over whatever this equals plugged in. You're going to show me all of the calculations down here and only the measurements up here. I'm not going to see calculations and formulas plugged in up here. Only the numbers with the units up here, all the calculations down here. Now, down here, I should see an explanation. Now, same or different, if they're almost identical, they're the same. If they're seriously different, then they're different, okay? If they're the same, explain why they're the same. If they're different, explain why they're different, okay? Because y'all have your junior class meeting, these things should take pretty much the entire class period, okay? You have a homework sheet to do to practice significant digit calculations when you finish and to study for your quiz on Monday. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day and a good weekend.